Hey guys, thanks so much for sending in those questions. We are loving your questions and loving help answer them to help you get closer to your dreams of sponsorship. Just want to pretty much do a video so that we can share the answers with other people. So one of the questions we get actually quite a lot is, do you wait for brands approach you or do you approach the brands? It's a bit of a tricky one because you don't want to be too aggressive and you don't want to be too in people's faces, and you want things to naturally occur, but at the same time they're not always going to come to you. Just like anything in life, you can't just wait for stuff to happen. So let's talk about approaching brands or waiting versus waiting for them to approach you. The ways you get sponsored, there's so many ways and there's no right or wrong, and this is just my opinion, so let's work through it. So first of all, you need to figure out why you want to get sponsored by this particular brand. Are they going to support you in your sport? Are they going to give you some gear so you can progress to the next level? Are they going to help with travel expenses so you can compete more or travel more for freestyle athletes? Are they going to help you with money financially so that it can get you the things that you need? Maybe your parents need more help financially. So whatever it is, figure out why. Once you've figured that out, then you've got to figure out, okay, is this going to be short term or long term? Because everything is a relationship between sponsors. So, sponsorship could just be for a small time period, for a day. It could be for an event that's a few days long, and it could be for 10-year contracts. So just depending on what you're looking for, what the brand's looking for, and how it can work together. Let's go through it. Okay, so once you've figured out what they can do for you, now you've got to figure out how you can help them back. So you really want your relationship with your sponsor to be two-way street. So they're going to support you, how can you help them? So before you approach them, you really need to figure out ways in how you can help them and bring that to them. So let's say, for example, you needed a product to protect you from the sun. So this could be zinc or sunscreen. Now, this is a pretty common one for most athletes, unless you're an indoor athlete. So let's say you can't afford to financially buy zinc. Let's say you run out every 4 months. And your main reason for the sponsorship is because you can't afford to buy it anymore, but your skin still means so much to you because you obviously want to protect it long term. So first of all, you got to figure out what brands are available to you and what brands suit your values. So is it an eco-friendly brand? Is it a brand with a big market? Is it a brand that is local to you? So figure out who you can help, who can help you, and the values. You've got to make sure your values match there. Once you've figured that out, then you can start researching them and finding out more about who they are and the story behind their brand, because if you're going to represent them, you really need to you need to match them in personal values, and naturally that's how the relationship is going to work long term. So once you've done that, then it's just a matter of figuring out, okay, I can help this brand by posting a lot of their products, like when I use it, and tagging them in it. And this is something you should do before you even contact them. You should be posting, let's say, every couple of weeks, just how good the product's working for your skin, how well it's looking after your skin when you're out in the sun, you never get sunburns, just stuff like that. Now, obviously you wouldn't pretend and post all these things of how amazing a brand is if you don't believe in it, because that's just a waste of time and energy for both sponsor and you. So make sure you're being truthful and just speak your mind on the product. So tell your friends about it, all that kind of stuff. So let's say you've been posting for 6 months and you've been tagging this brand and you really love them. Now it might be a good time to approach them and say, hey, this is who I am, link them to your profile, send them a few pictures, and by this time they should already know or have seen somewhere your profile on their notification feed, because obviously if you've been tagging them, they're going to see that. So hopefully they should know you by the time you contact them, and this is probably the key. So when you do contact them, you're not a stranger. They've seen your name, they've seen your profile, they've seen that you've been tagging them, so now it's kind of like, hello, this is who I am. Introduce yourself, and I would say that keep it short and sweet, but remain professional. And your number one thing would be to get out of this first bit of contact is to introduce yourself. Tell them how much you appreciate their product and how much you love it. And then just ask them a question. How can you help their brand expand? What can you do for them? And that's it. Don't ask for anything else. Just ask how you can help them. Now this is just step number one. Step number two is now seeing if you can maintain what they've asked. So let's say they say, oh well, it would really help us if you posted a little bit more and tagged us in more photos and told your friends about it. Now this is your chance to prove yourself that they've asked for something specific. Now can you keep maintaining that relationship by doing what they've said? So it's kind of like testing grounds. Now let's say you've done that for the next 3 months, then it could be the opportunity to ask, hey, I've really been loving posting up about your products and really love using it all the time. Is there some kind of relationship we can work out to support each other? And you just let the conversation lead from there, you know. Sponsorship, it's no this way is the way. There's so many different types of ways how they start, different contracts. So you've got to focus on the relationship and not what you can get. So you've got to just make sure you give, and then hopefully you'll get back if you stay true to your values and who you are and the brands you're chasing and why you're chasing it. That's the key, you know, like you don't chase brands just because you want to look cool and have a sponsorship and a sticker on your board. It needs to be true to supporting your lifestyle, and if sunscreen's something that you need to look after yourself, then that's a product you could go track down and hopefully build a relationship with a brand that you love and they love you back. So the other half to this is if brands are going to approach you. So yes, this does happen, and I would say that this will happen mostly in the competition arena because you're obviously serious at your sport and that's somewhat you want to take the serious route for it. So if this is the way you want to take it, then sponsors can be at competitions and watching who's winning and how everyone's competing. So this is another way brands could approach you. They could approach you in person. They might approach you on social media. They might get in contact with your parents. So there's all different ways about it. But you know, like if you're getting to a stage where you think sponsorship's something for you and the natural next step, then if no one's approached you by now, then maybe it's now time for you to start taking action and see who you can work with and who's really going to support you to live the ultimate lifestyle. So there's no set right or wrong way, but just keep in mind why you're chasing stuff and maintain your personal values when you're looking for a brand, and just think selfless and think what can you do for other people. Then long term down the track, let's see how they can support you back. So just get those priorities in check, and good luck guys. If you have any questions, just DM us or email kate@grom.com. Alright, it's awesome chatting, and I hope this helps a few more people out there. See ya!